first question. I mean, I think you already know this one, but what do you plan on doing with Josh? I mean, I know you answered this a lot of times in team boss discussion, but
Um, if he doesn't if he doesn't do better and not finish last in a lap down the sprint race, he's probably gonna get demoted. But for right now, his seat is safe because he's active.
hmm. See, I fired Bruno after just one race weekend because he got disqualified both races.
I have Wicked, he's quick, he can finish in the points, but his internet crashed him, and then he just straight up disqualified in the feature race. So
Well, he
I
said disqualified
it's
on purpose because he had to eat or something like that.
oh he told me that his internet went out.
Oh, I'm talking about the feature race.
Yes, I don't know. He said something weird happened, but yeah. So I'm a little bit frustrated, but I
Do you know what
mean
I find
Josh managed to
weird?
get some
So the
points.
team boss, 4444 Super of Carlin, uh, his driver was in second place, and well, he finished second place. He was in first place at the time, and he's like, "Dude, restart the race." I'm like, "Dude, your driver's in first place, and you're the team boss, and you said that you can't drive at all." So it's like, and plus if I reset it, your driver could go from being first place to being back in the back and just not staying in front.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's
It's
kind of
like,
weird.
yeah, I'd rather just let it play through and let my driver, he finished P2, which is still amazing, finish P2 because I know that the team boss dude will be lucky to score points.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about just filling in for a couple left three races, but I don't have I have stuff going on every time, so I haven't even been able to try and jump
I
in.
honestly think it would be better than Josh, easily.
I mean, I'm racing in F2 right now. I'm not doing amazing, partly because I have to qualify on a laptop and then I can race on my PC, but I don't know, I'm just not that quick right now
Nice thing is though is
because I
there's
keep on
no
going back and
Android
forth.
on, so qualifying does not matter as much.
Yeah,
I'd
exactly. So
rather
you can
use
just kind of get a
qualifying.
good
Yeah, I'd rather
start.
use qualifying as like an FP2 than actually just going for a fast lap. Well, I mean,
Yeah, pretty
you could
much
do it for a fast
exactly.
lap, but not like a hot lap.
I mean, yeah, in F2 it's crazy because you have people that are like trying to figure out every single corner cut. Like the guy that won the race, he was taking notes the entire first free practice on how he could corner cut the track without getting a CC, which is kind of ridiculous and way like over the top.
Send him to
Like
F1.
I just wanted to practice.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm gonna do
exactly. I mean,
if
F1 is the most inactive
that's
thing
what I'm gonna
ever.
do if Alex, if he's too fast, I'm gonna be like, no, you can't race in F3 because currently he's in Prima. He's the replacement for Bruno.
Oh, he's gonna be really
He is. If
quick,
he's too fast,
Alex.
then like I said, I'll
Holy
bump
crap.
him up or have him bump it up.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get put up.
But then again, he can't really race in F2 because that's his own league and people think he's being a Daller and just
Exactly. Oh, God, Dallard. Where? I mean, what happened with him?
I
Like,
haven't even heard anything
you
about the
know,
other RA.
yeah, like that's never gonna take off again. I mean, he gets advertisements from his own game, but I mean, nothing's
And
gonna
he only
happen out of
gets
it.
like what, like 80 people playing at a time, and I have a feeling it's probably the same 80 people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it has 1 million visits, but I mean, it's just the same people going on every once in a while just to screw around, or just people randomly joining for like five
And then
minutes.
leaving.
Yeah.
Like I made like this crappy, like those like what are they called, like Sutar games. That's like this crappy story times. I made one of those. Didn't spend anything on advertisements. Got like 500 visits.
Yeah, exactly. Like it randomly pops up and recommended, and people just click
Yeah,
on it.
and then it's like that's just it. Like Project Track Day gets like no advertisement at all, and there's still more people than Dollars are.
Oh, Project Track Day. Yeah, it's a really nice built game. Like you go on there and the tracks are super realistic and
But
nice
like
looking. Like
the
everything about
breaks,
that game is amazing.
I really don't like that on there because the breaks are like non-existent. At least that's what it feels like to me.
Well, yeah, GT3 cars and stuff like that don't have nearly as good a brakes as F1
Yeah,
cars.
or even F3 cars.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing about the cars though, what I've noticed is it's really hard to brake and turn. Once you brake, it's like you just lock up your tires and there's no turning mobility.
Yeah,
So
in general,
that's
whenever I
it
do,
gets kind of
I
frustrating.
brake, and then I turn, and then I accelerate. So that way I get the best turn
Yeah,
possible without breaking
that's
anything.
pretty much the only way to do it. Yeah,
Well, it's generally, at least I
exactly.
find it for myself, faster than brake turning on games that allow me to do that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you're playing like F1 2020 and you just dive bomb into a corner sometimes. You just gotta hold brake all the way through it.
Yeah.
Hope you don't go flying off the track.
And then you have people who just dive bomb but they don't brake in multiplayer. I've
Oh
had
my
so
god,
many
I
races
hate
ruined
that.
because I'm like basically racing in the pack and some dude dive bombs and hit me square on. I have not been able to
Yeah,
finish a single race in like the top four, even though I'm sticking with the top four most of the race. It's just whenever you go to block someone, they spin you out and you get penalized for it. It's like, why is my safety
yeah,
rating down? Why is yeah,
exactly. It's so
like why is
stupid.
mine down because
Like
some dude crashed me?
in the qualifying thing's ridiculous. If you just go the slightest bit over the curve, next thing disqualified from the thing. So, I just continue through the lap like why not? And then, I would have qualified like second or third place. I'm like, oh great, I'm in the back of the field. I start going. And I get in a 15-person lobby. I'm 12th place and I hit the brakes and then someone behind me just rams me into the car in front and I don't have a front wing anymore. It's like, what's the point of playing this game then?
And then you have people like Josh racing in F1 2020.
Oh god.
Or you have Bruno just corner cutting the entire track and getting black flagged. I mean, he did that for both races. Both races he got black flagged because he decided to corner cut.
Did he just do like insane corner cuts and just shot through the entire thing?
Uh,
Just completely
he
skip
didn't even
turns?
quote unquote shot through the entire thing. He was in P8 before, or he was at P8 at the end of the race because the idiot decided he kept racing. And I'm like, dude, you're black flag. Stop racing. And he finished P8 with over, it was like 48 corner cuts at the time.
Oh my god.
Like
Jesus.
48 on a 16
How
lap
many
or 15 lap race, because unless he corner cutted during the formation lap, because if he did, whoa, I mean, that's that's a
that's what gets me nervous with Josh. Like it's a 15-lap race and he finished a lap down.
it's like, come on.
It's it's come on, like you gotta be better than that. You really gotta be better than that. You can't just let that
I
happen.
know. It's like in general. I mean, I did qualify P16 when they did qualifying because Bruno wasn't there, but I was also answering questions, and on that lap I spun around. And I was, like I
Yeah.
said, I was 10 seconds slower than Josh, even though I spun in like the worst possible angle. 'Cause I had,
I qualifying is so frustrating in Hanoi.
I don't know,
I was gonna set a time like 3 seconds quicker and then I just come around like one of the final
it just
corners
spins.
and I just spin because I went a little bit wide because I'm like, I'll just send it around this corner because I know I can go a little bit quicker than I've been going before, and I just clip the wall, and the next thing you know, it just shoots you around.
Yeah. Like, on that lap, like, I was basically pulling in close, so I was wide against the wall and tried to pull in close, near the wall on the turn, and I hit the wall, spun, faced the opposite direction of the starting line, so I had to reverse out because of how I was. I was basically, my nose was to the wall, so I had to reverse out, turn right, reverse back, turning left, and then turn right, and then straight. And took me probably like 8-9 seconds to do the turn, plus however long it took me to get to the starting line. And most of the time I was
Yeah,
answering questions. I
exactly.
did maybe like 2 hot laps. One, I corner cutted the chicane just a little bit because I was coming in too hot, and it's like at the point where the handling starts to go down or the turning starts to go down. That fall off range. And
Yeah,
then the second one was that lap where I went whack the wall, and then
it's so frustrating when you hit the wall.
yeah, and then you've got
Yeah, I want to scream.
who finished last. I wonder how they did compared to Josh. Oh, you had also not only
One
that, but you
second.
had Bruno, who, like I said, had 40 plus corner cuts, and was 46 seconds behind the leader.
That's
He
pretty
was
ridiculous.
he was
Yep.
39 seconds slower than his teammate. Josh, like I said, was a lap down, and then you had the people who retired from the race. And then you had the
Yeah.
second
How many people retired
in
in
the
that
second race
race?
he placed, our first race he placed P14. And then of course you had what's his name? You had, I'm trying to find him. Bruno finished P11 with 50, 60 something corner cuts. He was like
Mm-hmm.
disqualified on
Yeah.
like lap 20. Or like, dude, stop racing. He's like, no. And then he says that he doesn't know. He didn't know what the corner cut limit was, even though I literally said announcements. He was disqualified for 42 corner cuts, and in the driver briefing, it's like, dude, 40 cc equals a disqualification.
40 cc. What's time penalty?
Time penalties. Right, the first race, none, but I plan on getting something set up. Basically, I just want to see how much people corner cut it and then base it around there. So I'm guessing,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm guessing about 25 cc would be like a time penalty, and then passing somebody while doing a cc would be a 3 second penalty, or give up your position or 3 second penalty.
Yeah, because you probably the probably way to go is like 20 is a time penalty, 30 is a drive through, and then I just blacked out right there or blanked out right there. And then yeah,
Yeah,
40
we're
is
trying to hire
disqualification or
some
something like that.
marshals so they can just chill around and watch the main hotspots.
It's it's crazy how much more like organized F3 and F2 are right now than F1. Like F1 has 10 drivers, and then F3 has and F2 have people showing up, and you got 15, almost 20 some races. It's
We had like
ridiculous.
19 the first race. It's just we had a lot of people who disqualified and a lot of people were slow.
Yeah, yeah. And the good news for my team is we just signed Baron Crawl. He was a reserve. I think it was Charu's. And I mean, he looks like he's quick. And I mean, if he just does better than
I would honestly
Josh,
put him above Josh if I'm being completely honest. I would drop Josh to
uh,
reserve.
I mean, I have 3 drivers, that's the only thing. RoboCop, he's really quick, like, in Canada and Dowler's game, I got, like, a 1-1, and I think his best is, like, a 1-2, like, we practice all the time together, like, we're good friends, and I know he's quick, but he just never wants to come on and race, so I had to drop him to reserve, and then Josh is always, like,
You
eager to
could be an
race in
owner driver.
practice, but he's not very
Like you could be
pacey.
an owner driver.
That's what I was thinking about, but the thing is, races are after F2 races, and I have lacrosse during race days,
That sucks.
so I can't even make it to those. Yeah, it's really
See, I'm
frustrating.
almost never at qualies in FP1 because FP1 I have school, and in
Yep,
quali,
same. FB1 is school,
in
right? Yeah.
quali I have refereeing to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's
What sucks
frustrating
too is I want to see
sometimes.
about getting like the referee license things and working tournaments since I heard he make big money off of those.
For what sport?
Soccer.
Oh,
See, I
sick,
don't
yeah.
play it anymore. I used to, and then I stopped playing it, and I just referee it now for like the little kids.
That's gotta be kind of
I make
like when you got the parents screaming at you,
I make $10 a game. I've had only like
coaches.
one bad experience of a parent, and they were mad at me because I was like, "No, you cannot. Your kid cannot play with earrings. Like you think it'd
What?
be common sense, but
Yeah, that's kind of. How old was the kid? Like
oh,
10?
like kindergarten age.
He had earrings.
She had earrings.
She had earrings. That's kind of young
Yeah.
to have a kid have earrings in.
I mean, don't kids hate getting
Yeah,
like stabbed by stuff? I mean, I hate getting stabbed by stuff.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of weird.
Actually, this isn't
God.
RAA related, but would you rather get stabbed with a blunt object or a sharp object,
A blunt object? Did you say stabbed by a blunt
or
object?
like poked with a blunt object or a sharp object? Like someone stabbed you with like a knife, but it was just like not a knife. It's like a stick.
Uh, I mean, I wouldn't really want to be stabbed by a knife, so I guess just like poked by a stick.
Yeah, I mean like the blunt object. I mean it would hurt, but then again you're not getting stabbed.
It
Like
depends on where you
I
get
have a
hit.
feeling the knife would hurt less but do more damage, and
Yeah, it depends on like
and
where
the
you get
blunt
hit.
object hurts more but does like less long term damage.
Yeah, like if some like say if someone like hit me in the leg or the arm, I'd just be like bruised, but I'd be like, okay. If someone stabbed me and like I just got a giant stab wound in my leg, that's not good. I think I'd recover much quicker without having to get stitches.
Yeah. And then one thing I actually hope to do about F3 and see when the code monkeys can add it in would be like arrow changes. You can make slight arrow changes to your car, so if you can get a little bit more handling or a little bit more speed.
Yeah, that'd be sick and
I would
stuff like
love to
that.
do that, and eventually maybe custom teams of like liveries, kind of like Ion, but
Oh, Ion, like I was over in Ion for one race in a McLaren as an engineer, and honestly, it's not as organized as it looks. from the outside, Ion, the YouTube channel, 1,000
Well, whoever
subscribers, people
streams
actually
Ion
watch the
races
videos.
is streaming on like a crappy computer because that's laggy.
Oh my God, it's so bad to
Yeah,
watch.
it is.
Like I went in there, like the McLaren, it was the most dysfunctional thing ever. The driver, he literally even couldn't get one practice program, and I quit after that because it was just the stupidest thing ever. It was so
Yeah, like,
frustrating.
and then I said, "Why is it so laggy?" And everybody's like, "Oh my God, why do you care about it if it's laggy?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, if you're supposed to be like a big and mighty league, you'd think you'd at least be somewhat like representable, or however you pronounce that word. I don't know. I don't care."
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like,
Like, because we've had Dowler's League that's been around forever, and this league like automatically just blew it away because it's just how advanced it is. But it's so
what's nice too
unorganized.
is I can confirm as long as I'm not driving as a reserve, I'll start streaming the races and hopefully, whoever the press is, what's his name now? I can't remember. Like Pro, I think his name was, or something like that. Or Gold. It's Gold. Will hopefully start streaming races from his end too. We had a third press, 444 Super, the new Carlin team boss, but he quit because he said that he just didn't like it, even though he was
Yeah.
actually the one being the press, and we have the other dude who's just like says a single word in the interview and then just chills, or in the podcast, whatever we call it now.
Yeah, so what happened to Matt? I heard rumors that he got fired
Mad Mike.
from his position as like, yeah, like that he got fired his position on like the board of directors in F2 or something like
I'm not
that.
sure about the board of directors, but in F3 he was fired.
Oh, he's a
In
moderator there.
F3 he
Yeah,
was
he's a
fired
F2
as team
moderator.
boss because he didn't even set up his lineup at all. He had nothing. What's funny is
Hmm.
the team bosses. I am actually very proud of like the new team bosses. They all set up their lineups very darn quick.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like what's his name? Trident, I think it was ended up being P2 this weekend. I think. What was it? No, wrong standings. No, it's not Trident. No, sorry, it's Genzer. Genzer was P2, and they were just set up, if I was correct.
Yeah, that's like some team bosses are doing a really good job. In F2 though, like my team boss for F2 Campos, so the original team boss, like Lolly, like Golden My Cop, he got kicked out because he started a rate because he started the like lights before a race and he wasn't supposed to. So he got straight up banned.
Dude,
And then the guy that took it, Riccardi,
Loli was
said
defending
he's single.
Bruno, and then he's like, "Dude, your cars are just bad, even though they're made by the same dude." And it's basically the same exact thing. It's just one slightly slower.
Yeah, exactly. From what I noticed though, the F3 cars seem to be a little bit bigger than the F2 cars.
Yeah, I believe they are. And the tents are sure are bigger because I had to fit 3 cars in there instead of 2. I would love to fix
Yeah.
whatever glitch is making the invisible walls, not the purposeful invisible walls I added on. So that way I don't have random people just pulling out cars and it'll be a big confusion. I need to figure out a better way to do that. But like the
Yeah, like getting the cars out of the pits and you have to like jump out and jump
yeah.
back in and just kind of keep on flooring it in until it goes
Yeah,
through.
that's annoying because that's the kill door. It's not like another wall is there. It's the door that detects is this person supposed to be in here, and if he's not, then I kill him. So that way you don't have random
Yeah.
people just joining and stealing cars, because that would be a pain.
Oh, and what I noticed with the Hanoi circuit is you could easily just walk through the holes in the fence and get into the garage. Like I don't know who designed that. But, that
I
was
think that's
actually
nice, yeah.
yeah, that was IRA. Like I know they have like the barriers so people can't get in, but they just forgot to do it. So I went into the F2 game and no one was there. And I was just checking to see if I had my helmet. I just walked on through the thing if I wanted to. I could have gotten like 20 laps of easy practice and they wouldn't have known. Like they gotta be a little bit better
There's
with
like
that.
5 people who got, or like 5 or 4 people who got a 5 place penalty in qualifying because they were practicing even though I pinged like 4 times and not practice because Alex forgot to turn the game on private. Dude, that qualifying though, the initial one that Alex did was a nightmare. I mean, I was refereeing during that time, but he did not know how to do it at all.
Yeah, I mean Alex, he's a good driver. I mean, I don't know how he can run the league. I don't know if how he can run a race though. I mean,
Yeah, because like I asked him to run FP1 and quali, and he couldn't at all. And it took me 2 buttons to click to get it running. Now I did have to fix. Now I
oh
did have
yeah,
to fix the HWA car and another car, but in general, it was very easy for me to run it, and everything was pretty much set up.
yeah, all pretty easy stuff.
In regards,
I have Mad Marcus right now texting or messaging me.
in regards to the rest of your lineup, how do you feel about them? Because if I'm correct, actually, I know I'm correct because I'm checking this. You got only 4 points that weekend, two from Josh, and two from Baron. Now Josh got the points only because there was two disqualifications ahead of him, and he just got points for that.
Wait, who's Baron?
Baron, whatever. Let me check.
What are you talking about?
No,
I
Crow,
thought I
Baron
only had two
Crow,
drivers.
or
He wasn't on my team until after the race. I signed him like at least from what I know. I signed him
let me,
at 1:58 p.m. my time, so that was like 3 hours ago.
uh, so yeah, that was before the race because I think. Let me check.
Oh, that was before the race.
What was it? Wait, what's your time zone? So
EST,
that's the same as mine. So you hired him at what time?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. That means it was. Let me check. Let me check. Where is it? Oh yeah, that was after the race.
We'll just keep that quiet.
I mean, this is being posted on the RIA channel, but yeah, we'll let it
Yeah.
we'll let it slide. I mean, as a driver, he does get the 2 points, but for the team, let's just let it slide.
We'll let it slide for this race.
MP, like
Because we were kind of in a negotiation process for the past day or two.
now Junzer, like I said, that team was just set up as P2. They had 33 points, and then Primo with 52. Now we would have had an amazing weekend if A, Waro didn't retire in the second race, and B, Bruno didn't get 40 CCs on both races. Like he had like 60, almost 60 on the feature race,
Yeah,
and he
that's
placed
kind of
P11.
insane.
Placed P11 on the feature race.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's not good at all.
Yeah.
Pretty
Now, do you know
bad.
what I think? Now this isn't about like something that we can change really, but with the corner cutting system, not like the entire lap system, if they would update it every sector and not every lap. Like if it would update every sector, that would be so much better. So instead of
Yeah.
like, oh, 10-second all the way down to 1 second gap, no, it's like 10, then it drops to like 8, and then it drops to like a 4, and then it's like a 2. So it's like,
Yeah, that'd be like insanely nicer than to have to deal with
and then
all
with
the
Hanoi,
just not knowing how much you got
The
up.
curbs in Hanoi look amazing. It's just like they barely function as a curb.
I know the curbs are not even on the right spot half the time. Half the time they're just like over the white line and then almost in the middle of the track,
But like the curbs, like the
especially in
car
sector
runs over
three.
the curbs like it's nothing. Like the curbs don't exist to the car.
Yeah, like in the one hairpin and like halfway through sector two, you can just cut the entire thing,
Yeah.
and it doesn't affect your line at all. You just
Honestly,
go
the
right over it.
curb should be either they make like they add in some script that makes it so it's of a different material. Like say the curbs are made out of plastic, then you lose
Yeah, it just
grip,
slides over it, kind of.
or something like that.
They just need to be higher so you bounce over it.
Yeah. Or remove suspension if there's even suspension in the car. So that way it doesn't just roll over. It's like it just actually takes damage. And apparently,
Yeah, it just launches off of it.
some dudes managed to flip over their car somewhere.
Yeah, I saw someone say that they flipped 3 different times in
And
a
they're like,
race
why was there a safety car
in driver talk.
when one dude flipped? Well, that's because
Yeah, I
it's
saw that
because I
someone was
actually
complaining.
saw the person who flipped. You didn't even complain about flipping at all until after the race when you finished like P5. It's like if you were flipped, then let me know. That's why we're hiring marshals. But like, I saw that dude who actually flipped over, being flipped over. So like, okay, safety car, roll up. That's when Dimers pitted and finished P2, which is quite nice.
I mean, that's pretty impressive though, how someone did manage to do
Yeah,
that.
when the cars roll over the
Like,
curbs.
I don't understand.
Like if it was like
Exactly.
Itra's cars and Itra's maps, that would make sense because Itra's curbs like are ramps, but
Dude, I was at Germany and I was doing the sprint race for F2 and I clipped the curb on the first right hander, like the first turn, and holy crap, like holy shit. My car went straight into the air, like the triple front flip and broke the front tire when I landed. It was the dumbest thing ever. And I got screwed over because I was in like P8 and moved into like P5 in like one lap and I was moving up the field and I got screwed over because I had a
you
freaking
know what I
curb.
think they should should
and then
add,
you come into IRA and nothing happens.
what I think they should add, for F3 is something that me and both Alex want is to add damage to the cars. Like you can take off your end plate of the front wing, and that way you have less handling, and you have to come in the pit and fix it. Because I think that will stop people like Bruno from
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 CCing,
CCing away,
yeah,
or like Josh, because they know they have to play it careful on the walls, and if they cut a corner too close and they hit the wall, well then they're out.
yeah, exactly. That'd be like really nice to happen,
Oh, I just
but
realized I should probably
that's
have put
really
a
hard to
rule. I
script.
probably should have put a rule for drivers who flipped or caused a safety car have to do drive-through penalty into the next lap after the safety car. So that way, there's no crash gate, or there could be a crash gate. It's just it harms the driver who crashed more instead of just being retired because of we don't have the crash gate.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a pretty good deal.
It's like okay, if you flip
That's pretty
over
smart.
somehow on a track of curbs that are ignored by the car, then you after the safety car resets, you stop in the pit and then you go or do like a drive-through.
Oh yeah, just get put to the back of the pack.
Yeah. Oh, I remember MP's cars, MP Motorsports cars were like broken. Like they didn't drive, so I'm probably gonna be fixing that right now while we're doing this interview thing. It's not really even an
That's gonna
interview, it's just
suck.
a conversation.
It's just casually a casual conversation. We had like one question that went along with the interview, and everything else just been talking about like the game and stuff.
Yeah. Where the
Yeah,
hell is the MP tent? I swear. Okay, we have that. Again for your lineup, how do you feel about them in general? I mean, you did get 4 points. You at least got points, but do you feel you might want to be making some changes other than Josh? Again, Josh only scored points because we had my driver or my old driver Bruno retired or was DSQ'd, and I believe one of your drivers got DSQ'd.
yeah. So football, DSQ'd in the feature race, and he probably was gonna go for P6 or 7. Football, he can score points. He's probably not gonna score more than 10 points in a race, but he can get points for the team, and that's good.
He's like a
That's what
bull
I'm
pass.
looking
He
for.
isn't your best driver.
Yeah, football is he's what we need. We just need consistent
Yeah.
points, and he can get us
Or like
that.
an Albon,
Josh,
not gonna challenge Max Verstappen, but good enough to do good.
yeah, exactly. At least right now, I think he has potential to get better. Josh, he
How
not
did you
good.
even hire him?
He
Like,
just
how did you that even happen? Because I remember I watched him on like the preseason testing. I'm like, if I owned a team, there's no way I'm hiring him because he was back marker. I believe that's in the video title. We marked him as a back marker. It was Alex sets historic 114 Sochi F3 record. Back marker explains what went wrong. I'm gonna see what position he even was.
mm-hmm. He managed to score points, but I think I picked him. I picked up someone because I misread their time
What do you think?
in the free market thing, and I signed him. I think it might have been Josh, but I don't know.
Time of one. He
And
set so Josh
people,
sent a 131 on what's it called Sochi, and everybody else was setting like a 115. I set a
yeah.
125 on Sochi.
If MBL was active, I would immediately promote him and have Josh demoted. And I mean, I like Josh. You know, he actually he puts in a lot of effort. He's just not very quick, and he's constantly spinning and stuff. And I mean, like I give him some fallback on that because he does have he races on a laptop, and racing on a laptop is kind of hell
Also races
because
on a
you
laptop.
5 frames per second. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how good the laptop is, right?
Yeah, it depends. I
But
personally use a desktop because I hate laptops, but
oh yeah, yeah. I have like a laptop in my room, and that's what I have to use for qualifying sometimes. So like school and stuff, and then
bro, my
on
school's
race day I'll
laptop
come
is
down
like
and I use my
150
computer.
bucks. Not even kidding. I believe it's actually even cheaper than that. And if you lose it,
Yeah, like
they want you to pay 300 bucks.
yeah, exactly. Same thing with my school. It's kind of
It's like,
kind of
why
stupid.
do I have to pay double the value of the Chromebook? I mean, yeah, you do have some programs on there, but it's like, it's like they should be very easy to install.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
I have to allow myself to go through the door of MP Motorsport in case I have to dislodge a car. God. I
You don't even have access to get into there.
Yeah, I need to have access to go into every tent, and like the press gets access to every single tent too, so they can like go inside and take a look, even though every tent's the exact same, just of a different color car.
Exactly. Yeah, anyways, Barron, I'm excited to have him on the team because I feel like he can do the same thing as football and get consistent points. Like, I don't think we're gonna score more than 15 points in a race week, or at least in a race.
Well, I have a feeling you can
We
get
might
more
get
than
like
15 points with your two drivers, but your drivers aren't like wow value.
none of the, yeah, they're not like insane, but they're consistent enough to get the
Yeah,
points,
yeah.
right? RoboCop, if he was in there, he'd be just like them. I would have three consistent point scorers, but he just does not really
For me,
put in the effort to
I
race.
have two consistent or three consistent podium scores. Because we had
Yeah,
Dimers
that's
placed P1 and P2. Waro placed
oh my god,
P4.
Dimers is
Yeah,
insane.
no, Waro placed P4 and retired the second race because he spun and he was racing on a laptop. And it was, he said that the laptop was laggy because he threw it in the first race. Now his
Through his
MP car
laptop.
finally works. I had to have
MP doesn't even have a single driver. What is that? Does MP not even have a single
no
driver?
MP had drivers. It's just they had a race with the Trident car because the MP cars were accidentally duplicated and they wouldn't move. So I fixed
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. We have our other driver reserve Mac. He showed a little bit of pace in his like free market thing. I think that's the person I actually mistake. I can't speak English, but screwed up the timing for when I looked at it. But he's okay. He's decent, but he broke his collarbone, so I just put him to reserve. But right now, this is what the lineup's probably gonna look right here with football, Josh, and Baron until some other driver comes along. But right now, Josh, if he can just get quicker and not finish in last, that'd be good. He managed to get points this race because he didn't wreck out or
Not
corner cut out,
only
and
because
that's good.
my old driver corner cutted so many times.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of CCs and just people disconnecting. At least he
See,
doesn't do that.
wait,
He's
want to know
consistent
how to
enough to
prove
not
his
do that.
arguments? It was literally I got 5 CCs for cutting a corner. Well, if you're gonna be cutting a
Actually, there are some CCs that like double or triple
well,
up.
no,
Like if you come
they're
around
supposed
one
to. Here, I'll
corner,
send this I guess to Team Boss. The Team Boss discussion. I'll ping you for that, M Barbs. Like if you cut that, that makes sense to have you get 3, 4 corner cuts, because otherwise everybody would just be cutting that because if it's only worth one corner cut,
yeah,
because they're like,
that's true. But like what gets really frustrating is like when you go, I think it's like the hairpin or something like that. If you like come a little bit over the hairpin to the CC zone, you'll just get like three straight things that say it, and it only count.
I personally
It only like gets you a
I
couple
personally
seconds,
use for my
or
corner
not in like a
cut,
couple
like for like
milliseconds.
corner cut in general. I use you see that like the little orange pill in the hairpin curving.
Yeah, like the things that just stick out from the wall and just come up to like the rumble strip, whatever you call it, the curb.
Yeah, but like that thing, that's what I use as my marker. So I basically put half my car over that thing, and I get a nice turn.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think what should be implemented is just kind of like a staircase of corner cuts. So like if you corner cut a little bit, it'll only give you one, and then as you go, like there's different zones and they stack up on each other, and it just does more and more and more. Because it gets really frustrating when you just cut a little bit and then it gives you five
You see
CCs.
the tire walls? I honestly want to make it towards it hit the tire wall, like the tire wall almost like explodes in a sense.
That'd be insanely
It would
cool
be
if that
cool,
happened.
but I'd be afraid that some people would get lodged. But then again, it's like, well, it's kind of your fault for crashing into a tire wall.
I mean, that was kind of what would happen anyways.
Yeah. And then it, again, too, that would cause more safety cars. But I will be able to give myself F3X, and that way I can just move them all off the track, or just delete them completely, and then that'd be an interesting safety car, and then all that kind of stuff. Now, the funny thing is during the safety car, I was just driving along and I wasn't paying attention. So how I use my keyboard is whenever I'm driving, my thumb rests right above the spacebar. Where I accidentally rested my thumb on the spacebar. Instead of a mechanical keyboard, it's like really sensitive. So I clicked that by accident, jumped out of the car, and then I realized, oh wait, I jumped out of the safety car on the middle of a straight, so I had to speed myself up, run it down, and then
Dude, same thing happened to me when you were racing at Sachi.
oh, you accident.
It was I think it was a sprint race, right? And I'm in like P6, and then I'm like 12 seconds in front of the people behind me, and I accidentally pressed the space bar and just jumped out of the car.
Yeah, that's annoying.
It was so frustrating. I lost like 5 spots because Alex didn't notice, and he gave me 500 speed to catch up to it. And I was so pissed off after that. Like, I do it all the time too. I'll just be sitting there and I'll just accidentally click the space bar. Next thing I know, I'm just out of the car. No idea.
What's my next question? Even though this isn't really, like I said, a question. Oh yeah, some drivers are complaining about the starting lights. They couldn't see it, even though I'm looking at their point of view and I can easily see the starting lights. There's
I
literally
mean, I guess that's really
there's
just
literally starting lights along the fence. So if you're near the back, you can still see when the light's going out. So you can be like,
I mean, that all just depends on the, like, quality of the screen that
yeah.
they have to
I mean, I have a
display it.
144 hertz screen, but it's only 1080p, so it's not like I have a super epic, amazing, super, really good monitor for this. Now, I did get 144 hertz since I play action games a lot, but like if I was going
Yeah,
just for
exactly.
racing games, I would easily go 1440p monitor 60 hertz or a 4K 60 hertz or 144 1440p. It's just I went with the 1080p because why are you playing FPS games at 1440p?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people like it's pretty obvious when you see 3 red dots, even if they're like 10 pixels on your screen and they're really hard to see, like you'll know when there's no more red, you should just go.
Also, another
It's kind
thing
of
you can
obvious.
do is literally just listen until they shift up to first gear, or that's all you need to know. You go boom.
Yeah, exactly. Just listen in. Or we can just have like a sound thing that is there sound over the lights or
Yes, there is.
like a okay, so there is. So yeah, exactly. If you just listen for like the buzz when the lights go out, you can just go then. Like even if you can't see, you can still listen into it.
Dude, this. All right, so you know how there's like an Ion driver who wanted to see if they can race an F3. So I was like, okay, want me to open the server to see if you're too fast and you need to be bumped up to F2 or F1. He's like, tomorrow. Everybody else is like, bro, let me practice. I'm like, no, because you guys are on a team. This guy is from Ion. We want to make sure he isn't too fast and is gonna like if Alex, like I said, if Alex is too fast and he's like way faster than everybody else, then I will force him to bump up to F2 or F1, and that would be obviously a loss for Prima Racing, my team. But in general, I would just prefer. I would prefer
Yeah.
it not to be like my team basically be Mercedes. I would rather have it be a bit more like I guess like the Ferrari fight, Ferrari Mercedes, except Ferrari doesn't fail.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, who's the driver that is for Mayan?
It's I believe he's like currently in F2. It's let me check. We have Doc Air, but he doesn't race. It's Capitan Bo or whatever.
Oh, Doc Hare is like the best driver in Mayan. See, wait, what's his name?
Capitan Bo or something
Capitan?
like that. If I'm correct, he's currently near the top in F2 for Ion. So that's why I want to make sure he isn't too fast. Like Doc Air, I wouldn't let him race at all. He's not racing in F3. But
Oh yeah, no, he would crush an F1 and F3 or F2, F3. He'd probably win F1 as
yeah,
well.
easily.
Like he
I'm gonna be
dominates
completely
Iron
honest.
every race.
I think F2 is more competitive than F1 right now for RA.
Oh, because that's because you have like 8 people racing per race in F1.
Not only that, but F1's driver quality is really, really mad this season.
It's not
It's
good.
not.
I mean, as much as
Literally,
people like don't like to
Bruno
admit
has
it,
a reserve seat in F1, and he can't even race F3 as a main. Like he got so many corner cuts, and then he blames first that somebody hit him into the wall, and then he says that
somebody hit
yeah,
him to the wall.
and then he said that the cars were bad, even though the cars, like I said, are basically just the F1 cars, just a bit slower. But
Yeah, exactly. Like people complain, like the cars are the cars. They're not that different.
I know, like
It's just literally the speed and maybe a little bit of turning ability, but that's because they're an F3 car. They're not supposed to be amazing.
not only that, but if you compare it to like Itra's and Datler's cars, they're not great at all. Like
Yeah,
Itra's
exactly.
F3 cars are horrible. Like
They were
you
terrible.
can't you couldn't
I,
turn at all unless you're going at like 60 miles per hour.
yeah, I had a race with them one time. Like during like it was supposed to be like an official race. None of the cars had liveries, so you're supposed to hop in like a blue template car It was absolutely horrible, and his car was the
Yeah,
worst
we
thing I
did
ever
that for
used in my life.
Sochi for like the preseason testing because that's why we missed Sochi race is because I was asking for liveries for like a week straight and like somebody has them. So I'm like, who has them? And then we finally got it right after qualifying. So I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do it next week.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go through the tracks that we're racing. I'm gonna be right back real quick. I need to pee.
Okay.
World's longest pee. That was the world's longest pee ever. All right.
Okay, well, yeah,
I
sorry.
had to.
I was watching the Giants highlights
I had.
from the first quarter.
It was like those random times where you had to pee instantly, but I'm gonna list off the next few tracks. What tracks do you think your teams would be doing good at is the question in general. So next week we have Silverstone. How well do you think your team's gonna do?
In Silverstone?
Do you want me to get track
Okay.
layouts for that so you can take a look at it?
Um, nah, I know that. I know Silverstone. I think it's not as technical. Like, there's not as many hairpins or anything like there was in Hanoi. So I think Barrett is gonna do. Barron is gonna do pretty well. Josh, I think he'll be closer to the pack now, but it's also a pretty long track, so he still might be a couple seconds behind. But I think it'll be a bit tighter, and I think Barrett can probably have a good shot at being top 8, and same with Wicked.
Saudi Arabia. I don't even know what track this is supposed to be, but
Is that supposed to be Abu Dhabi or something like that?
maybe Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, send me the track light for
Yeah,
that
I'm
one.
gonna look for that. I'm honestly looking for that.
Where is it? Wait, where is it? Is that a calendar?
It's on the calendar, yeah, but it doesn't actually show the Grand Prix.
Pull it up too.
Um,
Yeah, it just says Saudi Arabia.
yeah. So we're gonna
Ooh,
we're gonna
Paul
wait we're gonna
Ricard's
wait on
coming up as
that. Now
well.
Austria. How do you think Austrian Grand Prix is gonna do?
Um, I think I'm predicting probably same thing, just about midfield in the points, midway through the top 10, maybe a P7 and 8.
I just realized.
I think we're better at the quicker circuits and not the more technical
I
ones.
just realized the Austrian Grand Prix just looks like the Silverstone, but like backwards.
Yeah, I love Austria. It's one of my favorite tracks. That and
Yeah.
Bahrain. Ooh,
They
Bahrain's on the counter. That's
they
pretty
need
much my favorite
alright,
F1
now
track.
Paul Ricard. Everybody so far has seemed like they hated Paul Ricard. Honestly, they should get rid of Paul Ricard and do Baku. That's my personal opinion. But how well do you think your team's going to do on that?
Personally, I don't like Paul Ricard just because the blue stuff like the stuff that they have on the side of the track throws me off. But at the team, I think we might have a good performance from one of our drivers, but I don't know. We're probably gonna have one top five finish and one just outside of the points. That's my prediction.
Honestly, Paul
But it's
Ricard is like a
it's very hard to
Paul
judge.
Ricard's a good track for like screenshots and like making like nice looking nice looking screenshots, but just a race and how it races in general, I don't like it at all.
It's not a very good racing track. Yeah, I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Paul Ricard
It's like
either. It's just it's
for
weird.
taking screenshots, I'd imagine it'd be an amazing track because you have all like the blue lines and that kind of stuff, which looks better when you see the cars racing on it, but when you're actually driving on it yourself, it's just annoying. It doesn't look great, or it doesn't feel great when first of all you're driving in the track limits, but two with the blue lines, it's like, that's weird.
Yeah, honestly I think they should just take out the blue lines in the Roblox
Replace it with
game.
like grass or gravel.
Yeah, just replace it with like something that's not blue because blue is just a really weird color to look at. Like make it green, just not blue. That's just really annoying.
And then the final track, Bahrain, which you said is one of your favorite tracks.
I personally love Bahrain. I race it like all the time with my friend in F1 2020. So I mean, I think the team I think we might do good at Bahrain, but yeah, I think we have a good shot at finishing top eight. And that's our goal for the season to finish P7 and 8 in pretty much all the races that we can. So I think we have a pretty good chance of hitting that goal. And if I step in for that race just because I really want to race there in this game, I think we could do pretty good.
And then I know this is not a confirmed track, and it's probably not even going to be here this season, but let's say they replace Paul Ricard with Baku. How do you think that would go? Because personally, I would love Baku. I like how there's a lot of tight turns, but then a lot of straights at the same time, and how there's that downhill turny bit that feels amazing on the F1 game. But how do you think that would go for your team in general if there was that race?
Um, my response, it really depends on if I was talking with Alex to see if I could get Lolly back in F2 and as the F2 team manager because as you know, like Campos F2 and F3 are directly connected. And I'm the F3 team boss, and I'm an F2 driver for Campos. So we pretty much run everything together in the F2. So I'm trying to get Lully back in. Alex said he could. He just can't get in the F3 server, F2 server right now for some reason because he forgot to unban him from it. But if Lolly comes back, he is really good at that track, and he is insanely good at teaching it too. Like I was practicing with him. Like I kept on getting 1.8s in Dallas game, and within like 5 minutes of him teaching me, I got into like the low 1.6s. So I think if we have him to teach us, we can do pretty good there. But other than that, it's a really technical track, and it, this is all driver skill. And I really think the first two we're gonna run away with it, and the rest of the field, it's just gonna be wreck after wreck, spin after spin,
Now,
and it's really just gonna be out of
I love
consistency.
the Baku track. I suck at it, but I love how it plays. And honestly, I think I'll do a lot better with a wheel. That's what I plan on getting in general during like December-ish. I mean, actually, probably like January when they're all being like the older Fanatec models are being sold for on eBay and stuff.
A wheel for like F1 2020
No, just
or
like F1
like
2020, like
Roblox.
Assetto Corsa.
I want to get a wheel. I want to get a wheel really bad.
Here,
Right now, I'm using
let
my
me pull up
PS4 controller on my controller,
let me
but
pull up like the best wheel ever. But yeah, I'm looking at getting like a Fanatec bundle for like 550 bucks. Now the wheel, like the wheel itself, I don't think I'll like the steering wheel, but I plan on upgrading to this wheel. Let me pull it up. No, I want steering wheels. The steering wheel that I'm getting with just so I can afford it, in like January would be just like a generic car wheel with the Xbox buttons. But this is what I'd want to upgrade to. I'm gonna just post it in the general chat, and then I'll just ping you to make sure you see that. Like that. Like look at that.
uh, that's oh, I saw this wheel I was looking at. That's an insanely
I
nice
know.
wheel.
I mean, it's. I
N-
know the carbon fiber is 100% going to be fake, but like, it has the built-in paddle
Oh well,
shifters.
yeah.
It has all the dials. I don't even know if the dials do stuff. I know the buttons do, but the dials. I'd be like, it'd be very fun to drive with that. I mean, like you're not gonna have a wheel like that on something like a generic Subaru or something, and it'd be completely useless useless for Roblox. But like,
Yeah, it would. I mean, me and my friend, me and MBL, were looking at it, and we were just looking through wheels, and we found this like PS4 like 350 one. It wasn't a F1 wheel though. It was like a NASCAR one, like the full
yeah,
circle ones. I mean, but they were. It's still pretty cool. It was one of the smaller ones though, so you could still like it still had buttons on it. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Let's see if can I find the screenshot of it in here maybe. Uh, I'm gonna keep on looking just. But yeah, it was like a $400 wheel that was compatible with PS4 and Xbox and PC. It was pretty
I think
cool.
you talk about like Logitech.
But yeah, it was lot. It was
Yeah,
definitely
the reason why
Logitech.
I'm getting want to get a Fanatec one is so that way I can change the wheels out and like all that kind of stuff. Like a Logitech one, you can't do that. I mean, you can change out the pedals, but that's it. I'd rather have something
Actually, I
else.
think with the Logitech that we were looking at, you can change it out, but you have to get like there's two versions. There's like a 350 and a 450. The 450 you can buy like a whole wheel thing and change it out, but you can't do that with the 350 one, which is kind of annoying, but makes sense. Let's see, actually, I'm gonna Google it up. But yeah, I wheel like it's got to be so much fun to play on.
And here's a question while I throw away some water bottles. So you'll answer as I'm throwing them away. What would you rank your drivers as? Like, who's your best, who's your second, who's your worst, and why? And then answer that while I toss this stuff.
My best driver would probably it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of too early, but it would have to be between Baron and Wicked. And maybe NBL, but he's probably not gonna race it all this year. He probably is gonna drop out if I'm gonna be honest. Josh he's not very quick, and he's continued to show that during the racing. He got points. That was good because he's consistent enough to not CC out or anything like that, but still just embarrassing and really not what I want to see.
Now, this question is from my brother. He said, "Are you guys hiring reserves?" I think I know the answer to that, but or hiring in general.
Uh, in my team
Meaning that Logitech
in
wheels only
Campos,
$250.
which one? The one I just
Yeah,
sent into the thing? Yeah, there. That's the cheap version. Oh yeah, because it's on sale. Look at that. So if you get the PC plus PS4, like you can take off the wheel, I think. Yeah, I got a small. I gotta pull up the actual one. There we go. Which one's more compatible? Is it the Xbox one? No, yeah, the PC PS4, as you can see, like it's got more knobs on it and stuff. It's a smaller wheel, so you can use all the buttons, but it's cheap, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, because I'm not gonna spend a bunch of money on like a $500 one. Like I really would like to, but it's too much
yeah.
for me.
Personally, I think that's what I'm gonna do, just cause I know I'll like use it until it's dead. So I think for me personally, that would be a good expense since I can't drive for like another. Well, I can drive in a year. It's just that'll be my learner's permit, and obviously I can't drive something like an F1 car since I am too old to start a racing career, and you can't have
Yeah,
an
I know,
F car to
right?
start a racing career.
Exactly. You need to have a ton of money in the bank to start a racing career, and it's not like there's any racing
Even go
opportunities
karting.
in
Well, in America, there's like
you
no racing
anyways.
opportunities at all.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, there's IndyCar, yeah.
This guy just said, please don't buy one of them in general chat.
They are
I want to see his
1.6K.
reason.
No.
What?
Maybe in like his
But
maybe his currency, but like I said, in
yeah, that's what I
America
was
you have two
thinking.
choices: NASCAR or IndyCar, and both of them. It's not like in Europe where they have like tons and tons of leagues. You have NASCAR, which is like 40 drivers, or Xfinity, which I don't know how much they have.
Well, there's the ARCA series, there's the Truck series, the Xfinity series, and the Cup series.
Yeah,
But I mean,
and then you
you
have
know,
IndyCar, and
it's
like IndyCar,
and then yeah,
IndyCar, the windscreens look dumb in my opinion. I mean, I know why it's there. It's a safety
yeah.
feature. It just looks dumb.
And what do you okay? But I'm gonna ask a question, even though I'm being interviewed. What do you think about like the new regulations? Like they're switching to ground effect, right, for F1,
Yeah.
or more ground effect based? That's so stupid. Like I get they want to make the field closer, but people still want to see the cars be quick. Like they don't want a slow
Yeah,
car
I think
because if they're gonna start setting like 5 seconds slower laps than they were previously, which is just it's kind of sad
I
when
think
you
we
when you
should
look
still
at
use
it.
the same regulate. Well, change up the regulations a little bit. You know, not like destroy Mercedes' progress, but change it up a bit and add keep the cost cap. I think that's a generally good idea because that basically forces teams. And let me go back a little bit. Keep the cost cap and allow stuff like innovations like the F duct and like the Renault spring that they had in the nose cone. Allow all that kind of stuff, but be like, if you want to copy our idea, keep it within the cost cap. So it's like it allows. I at least I hope that FIA will allow more innovation within the cost cap. So
Yeah,
that way it's not like
exactly.
the F duct all of a sudden I believe it's McLaren who made it runs away with a couple victories. It should be like, okay, you made the F duct, it works, it's safe. Now the other teams have to try to copy it within the cost cap. So it's like there's different innovations fighting each other and seeing what's the most like best and cost effective. Would you rather have a better driver or a better car? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's not like the teams make it like, oh, they lose their advantage right away because a different team can make it. Like they still have to innovate it. So you're gonna get it, and you're gonna have this advantage for a set period of races, and that's what it's about. Because they're not gonna in a week recreate your F duct and put
And
it
not
in the
only
car and
that, but
crap
it
like
costs
that.
a lot more money to
Like
innovate than it is to copy. So you have to decide, well, if I make this innovation, I'm gonna have to try to cover it up as much as I can to make sure the other teams don't find out. And once they do, hopefully the amount of money we spent on it is worth it for the advantage we gain in that many races.
yeah, exactly.
Because it's like
It's
if
kind
I'm
of
gonna be innovating, especially if the cost cap and if FIA allows it more, I would hide it. Even if FIA doesn't allow it, I would hide it so that way FIA doesn't find out. But so it's like
yeah.
just try to get good innovations but hide it. And honestly, the wood plank, they should just change the wood plank under the cars for something else. The wood plank just doesn't look good on the underside of the car.
What's the wood plank?
Underneath the car, basically, I believe it was in the 90s. The cars were so low, so FIA was like, okay, we're putting a wood plank. If you don't, if the wood plank is chipped, well then you get a penalty or you're disqualified or something like that. And
Uh,
then
oh, that's kind
and
of
the reason
whack.
why they have the cars spark now is because they changed to titanium, I believe, which sparks once it hits the ground. That's like the clamp they use to hold
Yeah,
it up.
yeah,
Honestly, they should change it with like a material or at least spray paint it black at least so it looks a bit better
exactly. Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
yeah.
just like a wooden plank.
That's kind of weird. A wood plank. That's kind of
It's kind of weird.
why
I
wood?
know.
Why wood? Out of everything you could
I know,
use.
especially since wood, if there's like a hole in your wood, like I know a lot of wood have like random holes, that would suck for the team because I mean, it's not much weight unbalanced, but with an F1 car, I'd feel like it'd be quite a bit.
Sorry, my dad came in. You
Yeah,
still
yeah.
there? Sorry, my dad came in and was talking to me about the Giants.
My dad's watching the Chiefs game.
But aren't the Chiefs losing?
I don't know. I believe if I'm correct, they won the last Super Bowl, but well, if they're
Well,
facing
I
the
mean,
Browns,
yeah.
I believe they're facing the Browns. So if they are, then
I mean, last time I heard they were losing like 30-20 or
they
something like that.
lost 40-32 today.
They were playing the
Yes,
Raiders?
they are. They
What?
have wait,
They lost
but
to
the
the Raiders.
standings isn't done yet. Like it says here that the Kansas City Chiefs have 4 wins, 0 losses. But
Yeah, and my phone says 4-1. The Giants are beating the Cowboys though. That's what's kind of like. I mean, it's just the whole
now
NFC
this is
East is
not
kind of
F1 or
embarrassing.
F3 related. But what's your opinion on Odell Beckham? Do you think he's good or do you think he's overrated?
I mean, for the first 4 games of the season, I should say, he had more touchdowns than the Giants. So I can't say that he's overrated because I mean he's doing better than the entire
Hmm.
team. It's kind of sad
Yeah.
actually, but it's kind of embarrassing to be a Giants fan right now. But yeah,
Now this is about RAF1. So Williams came out on top the first race. The second race, they were bumped down to like P3. How do you think they're gonna do in general? I know this isn't RIA or F3, but it's still somewhat relevant.
they uh I mean, the cars are like in real life they're pretty far apart, but the cars in RIA's game are really close together still. So it's just a matter of who's the best driver, honestly. Like you had Black Evo or whoever it was in the Haas car, and they won by like a mile. It's all up to the drivers, really. The cars don't mean much. So if you just have a good driver, which I'm sure they do, I'm pretty sure they
Yeah,
do, because they added an iron driver, I think. Right? Yeah, I think they do at least. Let me check because I'm in the server. Yeah, they have an Iron driver or who was an Iron driver for a little bit,
One of
but
those
he
something
quit
funny.
Iron.
So Loli, the team boss, Williams was like, "You're a meme in Ion." I'm going to Ion. They're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I had a sneaking suspicion that Loli was lying." Yeah, right now Williams is actually no correction P2, and they have 38 points compared to Red Bull's 44.
Where's Mercedes? They're bottom of the table,
I
right?
believe so. Renault is only 2 points behind. Then you have Racing Point, and then you have AlphaTauri, all close together. Mercedes is P15, but if I'm correct, they only have one driver, at least on the website, which I managed the website. It's just I basically just put the standings in. If there's a new driver, I put them in.
Wait, did Peruz is Peruz back in F3?
No, Brutus
Because
is still
he got
banned in F3.
okay, because that was an F or that was an RIA.
Yeah,
I saw him
someone
in.
else banned me, or not banned me, banned him, and I just and F3 is like, yeah, I'm not gonna re-add him if he's banned on every server.
I wonder what he did.
Oh no, but he's like, can you
He's
disband me? I didn't do nothing. Disband me. I believe he was like one of Dollar's like spies or whatever.
oh, that ain't good.
Yeah.
How did I find and sign him then? Did he DM? I think he DM'd me.
No,
Actually, let
I
me
think it
see.
was Carlin Buzz that he was signed to, or he was like,
Yeah,
can
he
you unban me? I'm signed with Carlin Buzz. I'm like, what? No. He also
yeah
tried to get
he
he tried
messaged
to get a
me.
partnership. He tried to get a partnership. So it's like we'd promote his Twitch account and he would promote us, but he only had like 400 followers and like only 1,300 views. It's like
Jeez.
RIA F3 is almost 200 members, and RIA in total has like 450, almost 500. So it's like 1,000 views compared to members is kind of a big change.
Yeah, exactly. So he DM'd me. He DM'd me asking if he could be the F2, like an F2 main for Campos, and I told him no, and then he kept on like asking why, and I'm like, it's not my problem. And then he was just like the jerk. He's like, have a nice day. I'm like, I'm not the team boss, and he's just like, oh, so then he's just like, can I be F3 main then? I'm like, what are your times? So then he said he's like a 1-5 in Canada. I'm like, that's not
Did you see
terrible.
everybody like attacking what's his name Bruno because he was like here I even like pinned some of his stuff. Let's see what he said. My old like I said my old main. He said, hey, quiet old man, your mother. And everybody was like just clowning on him, and it was interesting.
Bruno rappers, why are you banging your mom? Because he's your step. What the? Just the first thing I see.
Well, that's here. So go to pinned messages and then see where he says like, hey, old man, your mother. Click jump to and just start reading like down. It's like
I'm so sorry. No fuck away from
yeah.
Prima. I'm so sorry, XD. Hey, quiet old man, your mother. That doesn't even make
I
any
know.
sense.
People like Lamau, what? He's like, no, your mother. Like, wait, then you finish it. So I pinned that. He's like, pin Lamau.
What's wrong with you? Do you want me to break everything that's called nature's abortion?
And then we scroll down. He's like, XDD, aha. And it's like, I pinned another message. Want to be my friend? And it's like, I got only 9 CCs to like face reveal, all that kind of stuff. You scroll down. It's like if you say anything else to do with face reveal, anything else XD, and then you scroll down, and then where was it
If
at?
you say anything, I'll do a face reveal.
Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. The understood what he said. But you don't understand me. Is like he said random stuff. Habibi. Where was it at?
P840
And I'm running
cc's.
F1
That's
reserve, so let's see
serious.
what I
I
can
did
do.
not
And he
skip the
but
curve.
he sent me to poop, so I don't know what to say. And he's like question mark, and then he was like, you can't. How are you race for F1 when you can't even stay on a track? And then he's like, it seems strange to you that now you need me. Like, no, I don't need him. We don't need you. You suck at racing. You can't even make it in F3. And he's like, no way you race for F1. Like, I'd rather have a monkey drive with stick shift than you. He's like, and then
Bro.
he's like, but his response was like so weird. It's like I got a life, bro. It's like, okay,
That doesn't make, he has the worst comebacks ever.
yeah, he does.
He just throws a bunch of words and like expects like he says abortion in a sentence and expects you to like
Okay,
feel
so go
bad.
to my point where it's like the umbilical cord. Like, do you see that one?
Is it in a
Yeah,
pin?
it's in pinned.
Oh wait, I see it.
Yeah, yeah.
The umbilical cord is
Just
not.
scroll up a bit. Scroll up a bit to like the next, the last message
What
he
the-
said. Is is like
Let's suck my dick. I got a life, bro.
and then he's scroll down.
You
Yeah,
said a
scroll
what
down
dick?
and see the umbilical.
You do.
And then it's
Oh
like
my
we
god.
Diamonds made our debut and we lapped you, lol, Bruno Raptors. And then it's like and then someone's like Ali Savaro's also made his debut or whatever. But that was a very interesting saga. If he was good, but he was like toxic like that, would you sign him? Because personally,
No, if he was good and that toxic, I wouldn't
I
sign
would.
him. And that's like I would sign it. Like this is pretty much it. I would tell him to clean his act up, and I'd sign him. And I'd sign him. But if he like became a dick, I would instantly drop him.
See,
Like there would be no
for
leeway.
me, I would have dropped him too. Because personally, I am a strong believer in team orders. If, say, Bob is, or say Dimers is in a championship battle with, let's take a look at the drivers with Core Masquerade and like Waro is ahead of him, and Dimers needed the win to be the champion. I would tell Waro to slow down, let Dimers pass, and then speed back up.
Yeah, exactly.
So that
Like
way,
you're gonna have the person that's doing better try to get more
yeah.
points,
Now, if
especially if
it's a
it's late in the
championship
season.
fight between Dimers and Waro, then definitely I would say keep racing. I mean,
Fight
yeah,
it out.
because
Yeah,
but if it's
exactly. Like it depends on who has a chance to
yeah,
finish where.
but if it's like if it's Prima versus a Carlin, I'll tell the slower Prima who's ahead of. Again, like I said, if it's Waro is ahead of Dimers, so they're in P1 and P2, and let's say Core Masquerade is in P7, and Dimers has to finish in first to win and or to win the drivers' championship, and say, hey, Waro, slow down on the hairpin, like purposely slow down a bit. Let Dimers, like basically slow down until you see Dimers pass you, and then speed back up. So that way, I
Yeah,
can have a Prima constructor finish and a Prima driver championship.
yeah, exactly. It's 5:45. Holy crap! Even what time did we start the interview?
We've been recording for over an hour. What the?
Oh yeah, we started the interview at 4:45. It's literally been pretty much an hour now, or a little bit
A
before
little bit over an hour.
4:45. Yeah.
So you are
Holy crap.
currently in the championship. Let's see. You have 4 points, which means you are 1, 2, 3, 4. You're P6 in the championship right now. What team do you want? What team do you expect to beat? By the way, the teams around you are Arc
Mm.
GP with 8 points, MP with 2 points, Shrews and Trident with 0 points. Everybody else has 20 plus points, so they're definitely a race or two away.
Um, Jesus, another fucking voice crack. Well, our goal is to finish in the top 5 in points.
Hmm.
If we, especially now that we have another driver and we have hopefully Wicked Kid Clean up the Zach and not get disqualified again. I think we can consistently get more than 4 points a race. So I think Art we're probably gonna have a decent battle with, and MP I think we should be able to beat.
For Prima, I think a top two finish. I would love top one, or I'd love first place, but I think a top two finish is what Prima's shooting for.
I mean, yeah, you got 52 points the first race. You couldn't have done better
Well,
than that, pretty much. So you're
I
set.
could, but
You could have done better, but I
so
mean,
let's see. So
52
you get
points. You're almost double
you
the
get
next
four
person.
points for pole position. So let me move my calculator over here. No, I did not say full screen. Stupid calculator. No, not full screen. There. So 4 points plus 25 plus 18 plus 15 plus 15 plus 12 plus 10 plus 2 plus 2 means you can get 103 points in a race weekend if you place a 1, 2, 3 finish
1, 2, and
on
3
both races
with
with
fastest lap
fastest
and
laps
stuff.
and pole position. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you can get
insane.
100 points.
You do
So that
pretty.
means basically I got pretty much about half the points I could have got.
Yeah, and I got like 125th. So I mean, I think you're doing pretty good up there, bud. What time? All right, so it's 5:45. I think it's time that we end the interview. It's been like an
Yeah.
hour.
Even though it wasn't really an interview, it's more of just a conversation than anything.
More of just a conversation about just like wheels and the F1 2020 game.
And Josh, but a lot about Bruno.
A ton about Bruno. Oh yeah. We talked 15 minutes about Bruno trying to trash talk you and just making up words.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll end this. I don't even know what to title this. Like conversation with M Barbs.
Conversation with Campos team or Campos Racing Team
I probably
boss.
will just name it.
All right.
All right.
See
See
ya.
ya.